Yeah. Oh wait, I'm
Yeah, we have to get together headsets. It's okay. Can you hear me twice?
Hello. Hello. Welcome to the draft, ladies and gentlemen. Alliance aren't in this game. Team Empire versus NoLogicGaming is going to be the first game here today we have got. And so far the picks, it's going to be the Io picked up first here by NoLogicGaming. Empire following through with the Slardar, and one of those beautiful heroes that we see a lot of times in 6.8 and in 6.84. A little bit less so now, but of course there's an Io in the pool. Wyvern great against any lineup with an Io. And they're going to follow through with the Necro as well with the Io. What do you reckon about this, Andy?
Interesting. Against a Slardar? I don't know, man. This is like... I think Slardar is actually good against Wisp and Necrophos both together, unless you're building like mass armor. And then I guess Ghost Scepter is going to be on the docket for him this game as well. I guess we'll have to see the rest of the lineup to round it out, because they're going to need a lot of protection against just the Slardar itself. Because once he gets BKB, those heroes actually just do nothing to him, so...
That's true, that's true. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what NoLogicGaming do against this. As we were saying earlier, the fact that NoLogicGaming probably know pretty well what Empire's going to be bringing to the field, but whether Empire know what NoLogicGaming are going to do, that's going to be a totally different question. And interesting, I want to see who have they got now instead of Dichiragata? And Mitch, in fact. So who are we missing? We're missing Nikwa. There's actually not going to be Nikwa in this game that we were, of course, talking about earlier. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do. It's going to be a tough one. Empire have been looking pretty good as of late, of course, with No Fear being the replacement for Always Want to Fly in the lineup, and the fact that they're running Yoku now in the mid lane. Silent still in that position one, and then Resolution kind of on the off lane role for the most part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird when you lose like a core member, because you have a very like set style. Like each core plays differently. Some cores like to play aggressive in this patch, especially since fighting is very predominant. But I'm curious to see how NoLogicGaming are going to be able to counteract that. For now, though, I still kind of favor what Empire's opening two have been. However, I will say in lane, like if it's Wisp Necro versus the Slardar Wyvern, Heartstopper can be a huge nuisance, and it's very hard to actually go in against those heroes. Or we could just see something standard like they put the heroes mid. So I'm curious. I think that NoLogicGaming are going to be pretty heavily reliant on the laning phase here. And Team Empire just looking at banning out the Tiny, so maybe assuming that the Necrophos isn't going to be with the Wisp, or maybe just removing the possibility for that entirely. And other than that, like, most of the bans are pretty standard. TA, second phase, obviously good with Slardar. I wouldn't be too surprised to see an Ancient Apparition pick or ban at some point. Looks like Empire is going to take away the Brood, though.
Okay.
I mean, AA actually just smashes Wisp Necro. Like, you will just instantly die, because you can't heal through Death Pulse. Yeah. And the thing that makes Wisp and Necrophos a good combo is the fact that you actually heal twice through Death Pulse every time it's cast, because you hit the Wisp and you hit yourself, right? So that part of it is good. But as far as everything else, I think it's very susceptible to aggression. And Empire are a team who love doing that. So
10 seconds
I have my reservations.
Well, if they do want to try it out this time, as you said, because of how well it will be against the picks of NoLogicGaming so far, at least. Obviously, they've still got 3 more to reveal. Empire now with their third pick to follow up the Slardar Wyvern. Let's hope that we see more of this kind of CS aggression that's always a lot of fun to watch and cast. And taking the time here, going into the bonus time, so really thinking carefully about what to do about this Necro Io. It's going to be the SF picked up here. Of course, we'd imagine for Yoku if he's going to continue to play in that mid lane. We did, of course, see Empire the other day switch it up even more, didn't they? Had like Aloha Dance playing mid for a game.
Yeah, he played Queen, I think it was.
That was it, yeah. They changed it, and we had Yoku on like a roaming Rubik, which will be interesting to see if they do again.
I doubt they'll do that again.
No, it didn't work out. It wasn't awful, though, I remember.
I mean,
Yoku's Rubik was pretty damn good.
It wasn't really the fact that either player was bad at the role. I think it's just when you play it competitively multiple times, you're just going to have more experience than the other person who goes into it like first time and just feels like, oh, I want to play this game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, sometimes, sure, maybe if you're playing against a lesser known team like NoLogicGaming, they have some very notable players, but they don't really have like that track record of a tier 1 team. Maybe they would be more willing to switch it up. Who knows?
Okay, Bane's going to be the pickup. Again, one of those heroes that we see a lot of the time when there is an IO, in the sense that you can set up those relocate ganks really nicely. You know, it gives plenty of time for the IO to find someone, pick them up, and bring them to the area of the Nightmare or the Phoenix Grip. So understandable choice here. And I mean, so far as well, in terms of kind of cancelling the Bane, I guess you got the Slardar to just run straight at them. Other than that, at the moment, you're going to have to rely on using the Winter's Curse to interrupt him. So we'll see why Empire do decide to pick up now.
10 seconds.
Disruptor has to be like a high priority pick here, right?
You've got to be thinking about the Disruptor here, surely.
It counters Bane, counters the Wisp. Very good against all 3 of those heroes in NoLogicGaming, because none of them really innately want to buy BKB. And I think if anyone's going to buy it, it's going to be Necrophos, and it's not going to be for a long time. So
No.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Empire pick it. There's also synergy between Amplify Damage and Glimpse in of itself, right? So it's not even just that it's good against their heroes. It actually can help you get extra picks if you have that. And
There's your AA.
it's going to be the AA. Yeah.
There's your AA. You've already talked about how strong it is, and understandably, they're going to be happy with the fact that they've got that. I think Empire are going to feel pretty confident with their lineup so far. NoLogicGaming, let's see what they do in response to the AA. I mean, what wasn't AA's picked up? What kind of heroes are NoLogicGaming lacking, do you feel?
Well, they need some kind of actual catch because as of right now, like, sure, Bane is okay in the small situations, and okay, I guess a Blink Wind Ranger can help with that.
Good old
That
Steve
is
as well.
true.
It's one of his best heroes, Excalibur. You know,
Yeah.
we see him play Wind Ranger quite a lot.
Yep, it's true.
So
I think this is all right. I mean, it's one of those heroes that okay. This is the only problem that I have with it in this draft. If you look at the rest of their heroes, who does physical damage outside of Wind Ranger?
Wind Ranger.
It's literally just her, right?
Literally Wind
Okay,
Ranger.
so if you have Winter Wyvern and you only have one single target physical damage dealer on your team,
Reserve time.
not only does Cold Embrace become amazing, but you can't actually kill anybody with Focus Fire anymore. Because if the Shackle doesn't land on the Wyvern, for example,
Yeah, this is true.
then you're going to have a really hard time actually getting anyone down. So you're going to have to coordinate your fights very well. Like, that
10
hero has to be
seconds
gripped,
remaining.
has to be like slept or something like that to make sure that your Shackle and your Focus Fire is actually
5
going to be useful.
seconds remaining.
Because in a team fight, 15 seconds, even with the reduction of the Aghanim's
team
cooldown,
ban.
is quite a long time. 15 seconds, you can have already lost the fight. So I'm thinking that right now, Empire, I'm liking their draft a little bit more, especially considering with an Ancient Apparition and Wyvern, you have the Chilling Touch with Arctic Burn, which means that you are going to be hitting like a freaking truck. Their lanes are all good. And then you have Slardar, who again, once he gets BKB, is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And then
I mean, I think, as you said, that's the thing really at this point. I mean, I guess NoLogicGaming's still yet to pick up their offlaner. You'd imagine to
10
what see the
seconds
Necry or Bane
remaining.
being the safe lane combination here, because the offlaner is not going to have a pretty
5
time against the
seconds
Wyvern
remaining.
AA support combo. I mean, just the amount of harass and the range that they can go for it from is not going to be fun to play against.
I think you try to dodge if you're NoLogicGaming. I think that's probably one of your only options. And now with the Tusk on top of
I
that,
do like the Tusk pick.
I actually think Empire's draft is just better.
It's pretty good.
Okay, they are going to get the Disruptor for themselves. That is a nice counter pick to the Tusk. Because
Where's
when
the
you
physical DPS though?
I mean, there is only one hero who does physical damage.
Yep.
That is true. So BKB is going to be a priority pick here for Empire for sure. Then obviously trying to... See, it's so weird because what is NoLogicGaming's win condition, right? I think you pick Necrophos and Wisp to win a lane really hard because that combo is difficult to push back because they have so much sustain. And they also have Heartstopper, which means the longer you're in lane without going aggressive, you just innately lose health.
Yes.
Which just means you win the lane over the course of, a couple of minutes, which is fine.
Okay.
But if Winter Wyvern and AA are together and they use that combination of Chilling Touch and, a Snowball even, you could just die. Like, you don't have a way of getting away from that. You have one disable in Bane,
10
and then you have
seconds
Kinetic
remaining.
Field, which is like a kind of disable.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least. I'm looking forward to seeing what NLG can bring to this game, but it is going to be against Empire, of course, and as we've said so
Prepare
far,
for
pretty
battle.
strong draft here from the CIS side. And let's get ourselves into game one. I'm OD Pixel, I'm here with Draskell. This is, of course, more of the DreamLeague group stage. 2-game series we're going to be seeing here from these two sides. So, Andy, where's all the action going to kick off first, and what are the lanes looking like from the side of NLG? Is it what we expected?
Well, I think we're just going to be seeing some warding done first before either team decides what they want to do. I think that initially their plan was to try to have the Wisp and the Necrophos win their lane super hard, but for now, I think they're just trying to scout things out, make sure they're not putting themselves in too bad of a position, because Empire definitely have the opportunity to snowball this game. No questions.
Here we go. I mean, the question is as well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see No Fear maybe go for an early courier snipe. We know that Wyverns do like to do that from kind of that radiant high point in between the tier 1s and the tier 2s. And
I think this was the team that actually also did it for a Salve Fairy. So a lot of the time, if you're in
just go
position
for it.
fast enough, and you know that most mid players nowadays just buy the Salve on the courier, send it out straight away. Like, that is an uncommon time to be sniped, but I believe the Empire have done it once or twice in the past, so.
Yeah. I mean, as I keep saying, this is going to be really interesting to see. Mitch and Garter. Garter rings a bell with me. I can't remember what lineup I've seen him on before, but Mitch, that's certainly a newer one.
The battle
So we'll see how these guys do. As we've been saying, Empire looking to kind of return to the element that they were at before. They had a bit of a dip, but I'd say recently they've certainly stepped it back up with this kind of lineup that they seem to have stabilized with. And let's see how it goes on this game. And Yoku on his SF. I mean, we've seen him on this hero before. I think this was, in fact, one of the heroes on his kind of debut in the mid lane for Empire, and he had quite a game on this. I remember I think it was about 20 minutes in, and he did not die at all. He played it very, very safely and came back really hard in that late game.
I think this guy is definitely the one you're going to have to watch out for. The other thing, too, though, is this matchup, I think, is very skill-based in the mid, like Wind Ranger versus SF.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
if the player is better on the Wind Ranger, they should win. And then, of course, if the Shadow Fiend is better, they should win. Because a lot of it's just down to trading and harass, like who eats more power shots, who eats more accidental raises, you know, walking in at a bad time. And that can make all the difference in the world, especially since both of these heroes do not really have the best starting health. So, and bottom lane, just a little bit of farming going on here between both teams. And they got to be real careful.
But so this is a farming Bane.
Yeah, they can't send all three down here, I think.
Okay, mid lane, hang on. We've talked about Yoku early on, but he might just give himself up as first blood. Excalibur taking the kill there from Shadow Fiend, and that's the turn up for the bookies.
Yeah, that's actually a very, very nice kill.
Yeah.
I suppose in the early game, like before level 2, or before level 3 rather, that the Wind Ranger probably has an advantage just because you can freely trade. You have higher base damage, and power shot pretty much hits for roughly the same as what a raise does, actually a little bit more, as long as you hit him in the first target. So if he was gonna die, it was gonna be in the very early part. But that is actually really good for NoLogicGaming. Like that puts him
that's a big win
like
for mid.
600 net worth above the Shadow Fiend right now, which is pretty much an entire bottle's worth of money.
I mean, I guess the one thing we always say time and time again about the SF is the fact that you get some stacks up from him in the jungle, he's going to be able to recover any kind of difference that, you know, he loses in top lane. In fact, we're going to see Resolution go down.
Nice.
And not even get the return kill, so a second kill here for NLG. And 2 minutes into the game, I think a lot of people are going to be impressed already.
Well, he just went over aggressive, right? Like he knew he was solo. He has an aggro tri-lane, so he knows he's not getting any help. He just thought he could get the kill on the support, which I guess even if they trade in that situation, Empire are probably still okay with it, given that it's a 1v2, but definitely not going as well as we kind of hoped here for Empire, I suppose, if you're an Empire fan. If you're a NoLogicGaming fan, then you are quite pleased.
A great time in mid lane. There's a shackle onto Yoku. Excalibur trying to move in. He's got to be careful of these raises, bringing Yoku incredibly low. Excalibur playing this very, very nicely. He's going to keep himself alive there with the help of the IO, and damn, this kid's good.
Yeah, Steve's a player, man.
Good old Steve.
He is some kind of player. So the rotation from the Wisp, definitely catching the Shadow Fiend off guard. And the thing is, too, if the Bane is just sitting under the tower like that, and the creep wave was pushed far in, I think in that situation, Empire really would have liked to have dove him, but I guess they just didn't have vision or something. Because normally, when you see a rotation and one of your other lanes die, your immediate reaction is go as aggressive as you can, try to get a counter kill in your lane to make sure that the enemy team's not just getting away with, you know, murder, basically. But
Resolution, he's going to try and find Milan here. He's got the Ice Sharp block off. Kinetic Field's being popped down, and Milan will just simply walk this one off. Resolution out of mana, so no able to anything else, and guard it. Just going to come back in with the tickles.
So the solo death, not great. Yoku already having 2 deaths to his name. In terms of CS, though,
he's still doing all right.
He's still winning. Like, I think eventually Yoku will be able to recover. The deaths do hurt him in the early game for sure. Gonna see a snowball here top lane. Resolution.
He's gonna throw back the shards here, but Milan just continuing to move forward with the right clicks. He's got a salve on him, but he is now out of mana. No man goes, no clarity, so...
Oh, this is bad.
Okay, let's see what happens here. Nightmare to cancel the crush, and it's gonna get taken off it by a low hard dance. Brain sap onto the AA. They'll try and turn around the cold feet. Did kick in onto Mitch, but on the level 1, it's not a lot, and they'll find the kill onto AA. Now Mitch is gonna be able to walk it off. Spartan here with the body blocks. Now tethering out the Bane. They might be ready to just go in for this kill. They've got the tether slow here. Mitch has got a Nightmare, and he's also got a brain sap. He's going to try and use the brain sap straight up. May have been a little bit better off using the Nightmare to set up a bit more action, but nonetheless, they do get themselves another kill, and NLG 4-0 on the board.
They are doing such a nice job of just scouting out the rotations from Empire and punishing every time there's any movement on the map. So they knew there was only 2 there. And they know, okay, well, if it's a 2v2, we got Bane. We win that every single time.
Spartan, he has got the tether. Let's see if he can make it over to his buddy, and he can. Gets himself quickly back over to the Bane. Mitch is going to move in here with the Spirits as well. They can see if they find something in return on No Fist, taking a lot of damage, and he's going to go down. There's going to be another kill for NLG. The Nightmare now to Silent, and he's pretty damn low. Let's see if they can do this here. There is a low hard dance to worry about as well. There's going to have the crush. Will it allow time for the cold feet to kick in? Oh, yes, it will. They'll lose the IO. At the same time, Excalibur's actually kill joke in the mid lane. Mitch will find the kill onto the Slardar. A low hard dance able to get away, but another trade that favors the side of NLG. Excalibur once again finding the kill against Shoku, and he's got 3 kills in the mid lane 5 minutes in.
Yeah, he's got Phase Boots bottle at 5 minutes.
That's just terrifying.
That is actually completely insane. The funny part about it is, if you look at the CS, it still looks pretty even, but the fact is this Bane is level 6.
Oh god.
5.5 minutes in with Phase Boots.
I mean, if anyone comes into the lane, they're
dead. They can't contest this anymore, right?
You just kill them.
Yeah, so Empire have just decided, okay, coming down here is pretty much a waste of time. Mitch and the Wisp Spartan have pretty much dominated the offlane of Empire completely to the point where they just totally sack it at this point. And they're just looking to Resolution probably to get level 6, maybe try to get some ganks off himself, but
I like this as well.
They're not, like, they just want to fight.
Yeah, Bane straight away with the rotation to the top lane. Let's see what he can find. He's a little bit low on mana. There is Resolution and also Slardar up here as well, so I think he realized that Silent's gone top to farm. He wants to try and hang around and all. This is going to be a risky rune to get, but if he does find it, he should be all right. They won't have detection on him. And, well, I'm just hoping for the spirits to hit, and they do. And they've popped down a sentry now, but it's a little bit off the mark. And
no, he doesn't know he placed it.
Oh, is he going to come back in?
Oh, yeah, he does. He has to know. He has a ward. Okay. He definitely sees.
Yeah, they do catch him on the edge of it, but they won't actually be able to get the true vision there because of nighttime. Now they will, though, and that's a lovely glimpse into the field here. Now is Spartan coming back in. They've trapped Resolution. I think they get this kill here with the Thunderstrike on him, and Spartan chasing him down. He's got a snowball, but the spirits
are out. He just killed himself. He was actually okay.
Oh, was he?
He was fine. The last Thunderstrike ticked off, and he was out of sentry range.
Yeah, but the spirits were out.
I don't know, man. I think he was fine.
It was a close one. But 8 for 1. NoLogicGaming. Just dismantling Empire at the moment. I think, as you said, the same. Well, top lane. Let's hold that for Fiend's Grip onto Silent. The Spirit's bringing him low. The Brain Sap as well. They do find him taking onto Io, and it looks like Silent will be able to get away. No fear. Trying to chase down Mitch to get an Arctic Burn hit on him. But hang on. Here comes Milan. Silent, you don't want to go down these steps because there's going to be a disruptor here. Field is dropped. He's got only 1 point in the Thunderstrike. That and a right click or two might actually bring Silent down. Looks like level 1's not enough, and Yoku will just find the cleanup kill onto Disruptor. Silent is able to keep himself alive.
Yeah, but bottom Aloha Dance dies solo to a Necro.
Oh, man. This is just chaos left, right, and center. Mitch, trapped up by the shards, throws around a Brain Sap, and will try and walk it off. The slow's going to be there from the Splinter Blast, and here comes the crush from Silent. Mitch stuck between the 3 of them. Oh, the defensive nightmare. Is he going to keep himself alive? No!
He's dead.
He's dead to the shards. But at the same time, Garter's found one. Silent's got to get himself out of there. Thunderstrike on him might just kill him, and it will. They will kill the Slardar. So a 2-for-1 trade now with a glimpse back onto Resolution, bringing him back into the field. They'll lose the Tusk as well. It's a double kill for Garter. And NoLogicGaming. And mid lane. Can Excalibur do this? Oh, that shackle. Oh my goodness. Dominating for the Wim Ranger. 8 minutes in, 13 for 4. NoLogicGaming just going over and beyond here.
They're actually outplaying them so bad. It's like insane.
This is crazy.
Like sometimes you win a game based on a draft, and sometimes you win a game because of a couple of clutch team fights. This game, Empire are just getting clowned on. Like every single fight that they're taking, they are losing pretty much. I mean, it's one thing to like lose an SF 1v1, you know, it happens, okay, whatever. Happens again because you get ganked, still fine, you can recover from that. But all 3 of their lanes are losing at the same time. And there is no reaction from Empire right now. He's going to get himself a tower
as well, potentially, with this DD.
Like, he's got 1,800 gold on top of the phase boots.
Oh my goodness. He's got to be careful now because the snowball will come in. He's going to get the Wim run off, but... And he's fine. Oh, these shackles, Steve! You've got to have some kind of mercy here. Resolution might just go down it. Oh! He gets the kill, Steve!
No, he's dead. Okay.
Steve will pay with his life, but it's a kill nonetheless.
He even bought before he died, so he lost
here
nothing.
Comes Garter, wandering in, and look who's got the Reaper's Scythe ready. Only just missed a Reaper himself. He's thinking about it, but it's not quite low enough now with the Death Pulse as well, it will be. 52 seconds for the Wyvern to be on the sideline, just 9 minutes in. There's a Blink Dagger as well, picked up by Necro. This is crazy.
I really think the Bane is the biggest problem that they had so far. Because of the fact that any time Empire rotated, the Bane was essentially able to make plays happen repeatedly. Like, as soon as the AA left, they got a kill. The Wyvern wasn't there, they got a kill. And the Wisp doesn't even really need to do a tremendous amount of damage because Bane is one of the best early game skirmishing heroes in the business. So if I'm Empire, I'm looking at this and I'm going, we should maybe think about getting rid of the Bane. Because I still do feel like Empire's draft has the capability of coming back. But they are so far behind right now.
And this is insane. 10 minutes in, 7.5k coming up in terms of the net worth lead, and coming up to 5k in terms of XP. It's a substantial lead here for the Radiant. At the same time, it may even be increased even more as there's a bit of a push on the bottom lane. You've got Garta, Milan, and Excalibur. He's going to be able to find himself an Invis rune as well, so may just look to set something else up across the map as Garta just continues to push in here. At top lane, they have got to be careful though, this Bane and the IO, as there are 3 heroes on the side of Empire. Heading in.
Under attack.
Their AA is level 6 now. That's actually a big deal.
Yeah.
So Empire now have Ice Blast. I'll relocate though on the high ground behind him.
Aloha Dance is going to get glimpsed back there to the high ground almost certainly. Now they're just leaving the field. They're heading with the brain sap. Guards is there as well to find the kill. Mega kill streak here for the Necro. And the bloodbath just continues. And top lane. Okay, they might turn this around. They found the Iron. Mitch will throw down a Nightmare. Now with the snowball coming in. Resolution should be able to find a kill. No, the brain sap comes out. The Winters goes on to Mitch, though. They'll lose Mitch. Silent incredibly low here. We'll see if Excalibur can finish him off. And he will. He finds one. He's going to turn towards Resolution now. And the shackle is there onto the siege creep. 6.85. Excalibur's going to be kind of happy. He'll get it with a power shot.
He's got it.
Oh, no. Excalibur, Steve. He's going to get himself out, and he might just turn around for the kill here. No fear, trying to get himself back out through the jungle. He has got the cold embrace here. Excalibur's got to be very careful. He's going to be backed up there by Spartan. He'll look for the shackle. Won't find him with a power shot. He opens a triple kill. It's going to be an ultra kill. Oh, you can't find anything more, surely, Excalibur.
No, he's got this, dude. He's definitely got this.
Dude.
He wants it.
Is he going to go for it? Oh, the CP's coming in. Oh, it's not
so
quite
close.
enough magical burst. Silent comes in here. They do lose the wife, and it wasn't a rampage for Excalibur, but an ultra kill nonetheless. Resolution straight into the Static Storm, trying to chase them down. He's got the snowball. This is going to be a massive snowball, but he's got a shackle that he can turn around with. Steve turns around, gets the shackle, straight onto Tusk, and he's got the kill. Excalibur now with the 10th kill of the game. 12 minutes, and he's 10-1-1 on this man. And it's going to be an incredible timing on the Aghanims if he decides to go for that first. This is some next level stuff here by Excalibur. He's got it.
He has it in 600 gold. Okay, big snipe, big snipe. This should be the wisp.
Oh!
Got him.
Rest in peace, Spartan.
All right.
12-minute Ags on top of phase boots, Handy. That's pretty good timing.
All analysis aside, this is maybe
level 11 as well. Level 11.
This has got to be one of the best Wind Ranger performances I've ever seen. Like, in terms of shackle consistency, hitting multiple hero power shots, being in the right place at the right time. This is actually ridiculous.
My goodness.
I don't know what else to say. Like, you can't analyze it any more than just saying Steve is playing out of his mind.
Well, I said earlier, I thought they'd take one game to Dan, and I reckoned it would be against Empire, but I didn't expect it to be in this kind of
I did not expect
fashion.
anything. Okay, if anything, I expected it to be the opposite of this.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, that's a little bit of a snafu.
Okay.
The Reaper may be a little bit more of a bumble than
pretend we didn't see that one.
Whatever, man. Spells baited.
Yeah, they don't need those spells anyway. They've got Steve.
Yep, it's true.
He just kills people.
So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself,
Milan might be dead. That's what you think.
I mean, he is probably dead.
Well,
Well, maybe not.
The backup, but the Ice Blast coming in straight onto Garter and Spartan. They do lose the Disruptor. We'll see if Garter can find anything here. Doesn't have the... Oh, Steve's there. They will lose Garter. Steve found the kill there onto the Tusk. And they're going to go for anything more here now. Looks like Empire are going to be safe in the mid lane. Top lane Silent. 1400 towards his blink. Trying to move in. Pops the Amplify out. There's going to be the tether back from Spartan. Keeping it safe. Keeping it groovy. I mean, I guess the question is, with this amount of farm this early on a Wind Ranger, what do you get now after the Aghanims?
I think you just go Blink, right? You just want to be able to set up team fights. Since you have Relocate, if you land a Shackle on a hero, it should be a kill pretty much every single time. And since no one is anywhere near BKB, right? Like, you're probably going to kill anyone with a Relocate and a Shackle.
Yes.
Unless Empire, for some reason, magically have a Blink Dagger on their Slardar and he can come in and save. Or there's like a Winter Wyvern nearby who can put you in Cold Embrace. Otherwise, it's been a phenomenal performance so far from pretty much the entirety of NoLogicGaming. I think, you know, Bane, Mitch, he's played awesome. Steve has played great. Everyone pretty much knows what they're supposed to be doing. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves right now.
No. There's still time.
There's still Dota left to be played, and it is starting to swing a little bit back in their favor. So as well as they were playing individually, they're still not fully comfortable with the way the game's going.
Yeah. And this is something that we do sometimes see with kind of well, I don't want to say newer teams because obviously I've got very experienced players, but when you have a team that goes up against someone that's kind of been as stable as Empire's lineup, where the early game might be great, but the later it goes, you start to see them struggle with the scenarios that they find themselves in.
Yeah, we are going to see another relocate
They're
here.
not struggling here though. Silence being caught out beautifully. The Reapers is going to get him as well.
70 seconds.
Oh, just 15 minutes in. And they're going to find the top tower as well. Excalibur and Mitch with the push. And that's going to be your Blink Dagger money on Excalibur if that's what he opts for here.
I think he'll probably, he probably just goes Blink. It's such a nice thing to have when you have Wisp backup, especially. There we go.
Yeah, you're bang on.
Radiant structures are
So,
fortified.
for now, we are looking at Resolution going mech here. No Fear is probably making his way towards Glimmer. And I think Empire are just content to play an efficient farming game for now. They don't really feel like they need to pressure fights too much unless they can take them favorably, like they're outnumbering their opponent, which could be the case right here. Relocate is going to be up in about 40 seconds. Empire might just decide that they don't want to try to risk it. Because if you look at this, Aloha Dance has Midas, right? And then Resolution's going for mech. Yoku is probably going straight SNY, so he can be a little bit more beefy. And given all these amazing shackles and kills that Steve and the rest of NLG have been able to help him get kills with, it's not insurmountable yet. So even though they got outplayed in fights so badly, it's like you were mentioning, the rest of the game, in terms of what Empire were doing in map efficiency and being able to keep up and maintain farm, is working wonders for them at this point. And they haven't even gotten a tower yet, okay? So like their lead right now, 5K, 3,000 of that would be recovered by just killing the tier 1s. Whereas NLG have actually taken 3 tier 1s.
Alright. Okay. Doesn't get the shackle.
That was a close one, actually.
It's a good job for Silent that he didn't get the shackle because could have been in trouble. Did have No Fair hanging around. Top lane. Here we go.
All right, that's a dead
And
hero.
this is what we're talking about, the Bane synergy with the IO. Sets it up beautifully. IO will take an ice blast to the face, but I don't think he cares too much at this point.
Oh,
Steve.
he got Yoku.
Oh, Steve. Okay. Yoku's got to run. Oh, the glimpse as well. There is a Wyvern here to help, but there's only so much helping you can do. Oh.
That is painful.
He's going to feel that one in the morning. Oh, 80 seconds when he went. Oh, man. Well.
So, in the early game, I think NLG probably made the best situation out of the lanes that they could have. So you're looking at this on paper and you think, okay, well, Wisp, Necro, plus, you know, Disruptor or Bane tri-lane doesn't really seem like the best thing in the entire world. So they say, screw it, we'll just do a 2-1-2. Because we know that we shouldn't necessarily beat the AA Winter Wyvern Slardar tri-lane. It's just very difficult to play against that because their aggression is so high and they have an insane amount of damage output. But by dodging, giving the Necrophos a little bit of a better start, and forcing rotations from Empire, they were able to abuse Bane's small skirmish capabilities and being able to get those kills early that put them in a phenomenal spot, of course, on top of the fact that Excalibur has played probably one of the best Wind Rangers I've seen, at least in a long time, in terms of fighting. So that has put NLG ahead for sure. They get the tier 2. It does get denied, but getting that tower off the map is still a big deal for them. You want to open up the jungle to be able to start constricting Empire and making sure that they can't continue farming effectively. Because up until this point, I mean, they just got Blink on Silent, and it's 18 minutes in. This is a hero who is supposed to be part of a tri-lane.
Hey. Don't do it, Lower Dance. Don't do it. You are actually too young.
He is very young.
He is actually pretty young. Yeah.
All right, can they get a counter kill here? Or, oh, they relocated him out.
Okay. Now,
I think they bring him back.
I was going to say, are Empire going to try and fight?
Actually, nah, I think that's too risky for them. I think they just...
I think
they're going to tether away. They're going to tether away.
Okay.
They're not going to try to go for a kill. Yeah, he didn't get it.
So that's a BM Winter's curse there onto the IO.
No, that's a... We need the gold Winter's curse.
Yeah.
There is a Glimmer up, though, on the Winter Wyvern now after that. Oh, Blink from Silent. He's going to get juked out here.
Oh, boy. I mean, what is the plan now here for Empire?
Get BKBs.
Yep. Get the BKBs out.
Like, Silent needs BKB. Yoku needs BKB. Once those things... Oh,
Excalibur.
God.
Yoku.
These runes, man.
Oh.
He can get it for sure.
Okay. There was a Shadow Fiend here.
Yeah, he should be dead.
Honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Godlike Excalibur.
So this is one of the things...
Godlike Excalibur.
I mean, he is godlike. He's playing godlike.
He is playing absolutely insane.
because of the fact that it's Wind Ranger, a lot of other mids wouldn't be able to solo kill a Shadow Fiend like with 1500 health, you know what I mean? Like, but it's because it's Wind Ranger that they're actually able to do it.
Okay, he gets found out here, but the Eye's going to come in and help him out. They do have the Reaper's Scythe that they want to try and turn, and they have got Mitch moving in for this.
Oh, good stun.
Yeah, Silent catching out a good 3 of them there with the blast as well, but they're going to be able to heal up, and now the Fiend's Grip's on Resolution. Excalibur with a focus fire on Silent. The Glimmer Cape is going to keep him alive. Resolution's down for 70 seconds though as the Scythe comes out. Silent has blinked himself into the pit. Is Excalibur going to go looking for him? I think Silent might have just out-duped him. Fortunate enough for himself here, as they're not going to come looking for him in the Roche pit. He's going to be able to blink out right now, and he will be able to get himself away. Are they going to go for Roshan here? That's the question. It looks like they are.
It's pretty easy. Yeah. They got crit, they got wind run, so shouldn't be too hard to take this down.
This man's insane.
Honestly,
14 kills.
The fact that he gets like 4 solo kills, 5 solo kills on the Shadow Fiend, that in of itself is amazing. Because not many heroes can do that. And I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind here is if he didn't get that kind of start, and if he didn't have such a fast blink Aghanim's timing, I think Empire would have been able to farm up on Yoku to a point where maybe he gets that BKB, and then team fights become a lot easier, at least for the next, 10, 15 minutes. Maybe then Silent has the time to farm his own BKB. But that just ain't happening. Like, Steve is not having any of it.
Now we're going to have a smoke up now here from the guys on NLG. Just revealing Mitch and Milan. They're going to go for a relocate. Who are they looking for? They're looking for a low hard dance. They see the AA trying to get himself some levels and trying to work his way towards that Axe on top of the Midas. It's going to be put on hold for the time being. Silent now with the crush onto Mitch. But there's going to be the relocate coming back in. And here we go. They've turned up with the Winter's Curse. Is nice onto Excalibur, but it's just not killing him. They're just too tanky. Silent's gonna have a Reaper Scythe to the face. He's down for 76 seconds. Yoku being held into place by the Nightman. There's your Shackle to follow up. Focus fire from Excalibur. He's gonna take down Yoku again for the umpteenth time this game. And again, Empire just can't fight into NLG, and NLG, they're just gonna storm down the lane all at full health.
This is like the epitome of a snowball game coming out from NLG. Like, they just have their core players getting almost all of the kills. I'd even give a shout out to the Bane because he played great
Safe
during
lane
the early
Bane?
game. Just because of the control, it worked out.
Oh, these shackles!
All right, that's a nice fraud right there.
That's a good OS fraud, that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this might just be game, Owen.
22 minutes in.
They got wrecked. Like, actually wrecked. When you lose a game like this, I think the only thing you can say is, well, we just kind of got outplayed. I don't think it was Empire's draft. I actually think that their draft was I think it was better. But when the enemy team plays like this, like, how many shackles has Steve hit out of how many he's thrown? Like, what, 80%? Something like that? Like, all the nightmares were on point. There was no, like, accidental waking up of nightmare targets. That's the thing that happens with a lot of teams, I think, who play Bane, is they look at him and they see what he can do in a game like this and like, yeah, we should play that, because Bane's been more popular lately. But sometimes you just mess it up, and then you end up losing a kill instead of just getting the kill for free. Whereas NLG, they pretty much knew every engagement they were taking. They knew the nightmare target. They knew which one they were killing. Like, everything was clean in terms of the fights. So once they did that, they take all the tier 1s. They're actually just able to continue fighting like that the whole game without making really too many noticeable mistakes. That's very impressive.
Milan's got an Aghanim's complete now on the Disruptor as well.
Dear God.
Dear
and there's
God.
almost a Daedalus.
I think it is the Daedalus done. That's it. It's been brought up.
He's got it.
It's on its way.
This is insane. Like, this is the kind of farm you get when you're smurfing, right?
Excalibur.
Okay. That's all of them.
Okay.
He's got Aegis.
He's got Aegis, and he's going to be ready for round 2.
He's going for the Requiem. Oh, nice
the
static
storm onto Silent, and the Fiend's Grip onto Yoku, trapping them out here. A lot of times will be caught and braced up. Is Silent trying to do what he can? Yoku incredibly low, will get taken down the first drop. They did lose guard to hit, but now the Shackle onto a low hard dart power shot from Excalibur. Now in a beyond godlike streak, Resolution will be able to TP out. But again, NLG just making the best of every situation and every fight.
If they play like this both games, I might have to flip-flop.
I mean, this is of course their first game in the league, and they are entering with quite a bang.
This is not like the same NLG that I commentated like a couple of weeks ago.
We've got kind of different players, haven't we?
Yeah, we have different players, but I mean, it was still Excalibur,
Steve.
right?
It was still Steve. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, like, Mitch, he's a stand-in, but he's done great.
I mean, I think at this point, next game, do you ban the Rim Ranger?
My question is, do you let Nico play after Mitch plays? Man,
Wow.
that guy played great.
I mean, Nico was playing really well in the qualifiers.
Yeah,
He
I know.
was
I'm just like,
Mitch
I'm
is-
just having some fun.
Yes.
But
I mean, NLG are having some fun.
I'm shocked. I did not expect this outcome.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Let's see what
attack.
Empire's answer is.
And as a man in a lab coat and a confirmed scientist,
Huh?
this is
You're the man to trust.
this is an
Dire's
upset for
bottom
sure.
tower has fallen.
So Empire not having any BKBs. How do you defend the base?
Radiant's
How
top
do you
tower
defend the base
is under
against this?
attack.
I'm thinking that NLG might just go for it here.
Yep, straight onto Excalibur. Silent jumps in. He's getting himself over. The Static Storm has been popped down around him. This defensive relocate just back down outside of the base. Now the Ice Blast has been popped. They may just go straight back in here. They don't have a Static Storm though. Axe is very nearly complete here on the air. Just waiting to pick up that final component. But
Radiant's
Empire,
top tower is
they're ready
under
to
attack.
defend it. Standing strong on the high ground.
Radiant's
At the same time, we've got a little bit of a push going on the top lane. TP reaction is going to come in. He's going to look to TP out. He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it.
I mean, he'll make it back to base.
Bless you, Aloha Dance.
Maybe not the way that he wanted to go.
He doesn't make it.
All right, so next Roshan, I guess, is going to be when NLG make their move. It's still going to be a little bit out.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Silent?
Okay, this is
This
very
is-
aggressive.
Ah, that's not going to shackle.
He's going to get glimpsed, though,
I was going
for
to
sure.
say, yeah. I mean, yeah, they don't need the shackle.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice play from Silent.
Yeah.
He stood in the same spot, so it was much harder to time the kinetic field with the glimpse, so he doesn't get caught out and caged.
Nice reaction there from Excalibur. Blinking straight away from the crush. Oh, he's fine. I got the vision, but they couldn't quite cancel the TP in time. Glimpse was still on cooldown. And understandably, NLG just, you know, they're pretty much in no need to rush it at this point.
No, they don't. They can just play
Yeah.
as slow as they want. The Rax Topper exposed. They
Yeah.
can wait for Roshan. They have full map control. There's an Aghanims now on the Necro as well, which means the next person that gets Scythe dies in real life.
And he's nearly level 16 as well.
That is the new Aghanims upgrade for sure.
I think at this point as well, if you get the Reaper's Scythe onto one of the cores.
It's just
game
over. Like, it really is just over if that happens.
Yep. I mean, Yoku has to got to be careful
Oh,
here.
Yoku. Okay, good glimmer.
Yeah, very nice glimmer. That's going to buy him some time. The snowball now onto Mitch here. There's going to be the shackle shot onto Resolution. Excalibur being careful with his positioning here at the moment. Silent trying to move in, but Thunderstrike is going to stop the blink initiation here from Slardar. Greaves have been popped by Resolution. They're trying to move in. There's actually going to be a relocate. Wait, hang on. Where's the... Oh, they've lost the Bane in the IO. The relocate was just, okay, down the lane here, just trying to get Steve out of this one. It looks like they'll lose Milan here as well. This is what Empire are happy with. Getting a defense where they're picking off, you know...
They're only one racks down. That's almost BKB for Silent. He'll
Yeah.
probably have it by the next time they take an engagement, and that's 4,000 gold swing and 5,000 experience in favor of Empire. You can't do that too many more times if you're NLG. You need to always make sure that you're... Oh, okay, Silent's dead. See it, bud. Well, he was...
This is what we're talking
He was
about.
close to BKB.
80 seconds. And it's going to be, what, a full minute once NLG get back up to their full strength with the 5-man. That there won't be any Slardar in the game. And we are going to have a pause here as well. Okay. Okay, just a quick pause.
Well,
Well,
that pause can give us time to talk more about how NLG actually
doing pretty well.
They smashed the laning phase, really. That's what put them in this spot. I'd say if the laning phase wasn't crushed as hard as it was, the Empire probably still would have won. Even if NLG came out of the lanes, like, a little ahead. Not, like, a ton ahead. I'd say it wouldn't be so bad. But for now, they still maintain a pretty good stranglehold on the game. 15,000 gold lead, a little bit over 10,000 experience lead. The one thing, though, that's very important to keep in mind is BKBs are so game-changing for Empire here. Like, there's 3,400 gold on Yoku right now.
Okay.
And
Is
then
anyone else close at the moment?
Slardar,
So
yeah.
Slardar
He
was-
needs, like, 400
Yeah.
or 500. And when he gets there, like, 4 of the heroes on that team pretty much don't do anything. Now, the one kind of ace up NLG's sleeve right now is the fact that they do have Aghanims Disruptor.
Yes. So with the BKBs might not be the saving grace.
They need to be used like
be
preemptively almost.
Oh, yeah.
Like you need to pop it before you go in if you're silent because you have the blink and you can never get caught out. Because if you get static storm, you're dead. And you're most likely also going to get Reapered in that situation because you're only one of 2 cores that I think Garter even wants to use Reaper on. So you need to be very aware of that. Yoku's pretty much in the same boat, but he's probably not going to be frontline as often. And I think game is going to be starting again just in a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go watch all the Back to the Futures, by the way. I can hear the music in my ear.
I can.
Lumi hasn't seen it, so we'll just do like a movie-thon.
I can remember, I can't remember what happened in the third one. Was that the one with like the casino guy? And where he gets like a book that predicts like the sport winnings? Or is that the second one?
I think that's the second one, isn't it?
Should know, was it?
Yeah, that's the second one.
That was the second one.
Yeah.
That was the second one. Not as good as the original, of course.
I don't remember the third one at all, actually.
No, no one does. We try to forget it.
What was the one?
Which?
Cowboy one. Yeah. Okay, Weapons is right. On point. That's the one where Doc finds a girl, right? Yeah.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, well played, Andy.
Even the bald ones get girls, apparently. Or balding, I guess.
Oh, 37-17, Empire. Still down a slide after 35 seconds, and there's a relocate on the top lane.
Oh.
Steve.
He's going to pay for that. Yep.
Goodness. You can't let this man have his Wind Ranger. You really can't.
I mean, his TP reaction was very fast as well.
And it feels like one of those games as well where a lot of times we talk about a certain core player and it's, yeah, he's played really well on the hero, but it's down to this and this. This is just him playing well on the hero. He got the solo kills in the mid lane. He didn't need any help. I mean, obviously this has been really nice IO relocates, but even without the setups of his team, Steve's just been able to make things happen left, right, and center, as you kind of said earlier, just like he would in a pub game.
Yeah, it's 17-1, so yeah. It really felt like a pub game for him because he was just solo killing everyone. It's very uncommon that you see a Wind Ranger have this much solo impact in a game. And again, it's just because of the fact that the lanes, like, he just...
Look at these racks go. Look at these racks go. They've got a fortification. Silent will try and move forward.
They really don't want to fight this, though. He's like 175 away from BKB. This timing is actually so bad for Empire, because if he had even 200 more gold, he would have BKB'd in there and just ran at them, and maybe they salvage that Rax. But instead of having that item, they just lose it, because he knows he can't go. One Static Storm, one Reaper ends the game at that point. You absolutely cannot risk it. But I guess there is one kind of... There's a downside to Reaper's Scythe if you're actually the Necro, and that's the heroes on the other team will have more incentive to actually finish their items if they assume they're going to get Reapered. So in this case, instead of saving for buyback, the BKB is just done. And that's a BKB that could potentially win Empire a team fight.
BKB's out everywhere. BKB's, of course, for Mr. Wind Ranger himself.
Yeah, this is...
You just look, I mean, whoever he locks onto, they're just going to die. I mean, I guess they have got the Winter Wyvern with the Cold Embrace. You know, they have got some ways to deal with it. They've got this defensive snowball as well.
It hasn't really been as prevalent as I thought it would be, just because No Fear hasn't been at a lot of the engagements in time, or it's already way too late by the time he uses the Cold Embrace, and the hero is going to die no matter what.
Oh, a lovely bit of smoke-on-smoke action here between the two sides. It's going to be the wrap-around onto the reach-around.
Empire are going to have the high ground advantage. Okay, they have to know this is so unsafe. Like, they have to know this is unsafe.
I mean, these are the kind of plays that maybe you need to be going for when you're behind. Excalibur leads the way straight in. Let's see what he can do. He's going to try and focus onto Yoku here. The Fiend's Grip is there from the outside as well. Sparks on the high ground now with the ultimate from Necro onto Slardar. He's dead for 80 seconds. Yoku's going to get taken down as well without any buyback here. There's going to be the glimpse back on Resolution, bringing him into the pit. Double kill for Excalibur. And NLG will just walk in. They'll finish off Roshan and say thank you very much. They did lose Disruptor there on the sidelines. And No Fear's actually come back in. I'm not quite sure what the plan was there from the Wyvern. Whatever it was, it didn't work out in favor of his own side. Loses his life. Aegis is now picked up by Excalibur. And another very, very clean battle win there for the side of NLG.
You saw it right there, like the the Cold Embrace from the Winter Wyvern went out onto Yoku, and it kept him alive for a while, sure, but in the end, like, Silent died in the duration of the Cold Embrace, so instead of having the Slardar and the Shadow Fiend alive at the same time with double BKB and able to actually hit, the BKB never even got popped by Silent. He just got caught by the Static Storm. So instead of being able to actually do anything, he stood in there and just died. Like, he couldn't stun, he couldn't amp, he had 0 impact during that Roshan engagement. That is maybe the worst possible scenario for Empire, and that's going to be Megas. So we're going to game 2. Empire actually down 1.
My goodness indeed. NLG, they're going to Feel very confident after this first game. It's not over yet.
I mean, it's not over, but it's kind of over.
Yeah, NLG think it's all over. And it will be soon. Maybe.
This is a perfect example of... Silent not able to pop BKB again.
Hey.
I think he's just dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, SF actually cannot deal with a farmed Wind Ranger. So the dynamic of the heroes in this game...
Empire just can't deal with a farm Wind Ranger at this point.
Yeah, they can't do anything. He's just got way too much. But this is a really good example of, even if you outdraft, you can still end up getting outlaned. And then the draft never accomplishes what you set out to do.
That was insane.
So really big props to NLG, especially my boy Steve. He played great.
Outdid himself.
Mitch played a great game. Honestly, everyone on the side of NLG played their part. It's just easy to highlight the players who had the biggest impact because it's actually very difficult to do what Excalibur did in this game, which is beat a very good mid laner in Yoku. Not just beat him, but like destroy him.
Yep.
And then proceed to continually keep like 2 of the cores down, because he solo killed the Slardar a few times. He solo killed the SF outside of the laning phase. They were getting picks non-stop with the Disruptor. The relocates were on point. The Reaper Scythe deaths hurt a lot in terms of being able to come back. I think that's also a really important point too about this particular draft.
Yes.
Is that if you're not farming, which you can tell, NLG were not playing a farming game. They were playing a we want to fight you game. So they pick Bane, they pick a hero with relocate, good pick potential, and then somebody who punishes harder for dying. So think of like what Bounty Hunter does. Okay, we get extra gold. This hero makes you stay off the map longer when you die. So their skirmishing kind of strategy, where most of the time a team would be able to farm it and maybe try to split push, they just couldn't because there was too much mobility, and if you get Reapered, it's game over.
It's game over indeed for the side of Empire. They will be back for game 2 between NLG and themselves, but what a game 1. That was one for Steve's highlight reel, that's for sure, on the Wind Ranger. And yeah, we'll see what happens in game 2. See if Empire can step it up, and also interestingly, see what NLG do, if they're going to run something similar or if they've got some other kind of tricks up their sleeve. But well, for the time, back to the future, to the panelists. See you guys in a bit.